We have such a special guest that we get to share with you tonight, and so it's just amazing that you're here with us. So I get the honor of introducing to you our special guest, Senior National Sales Director, Dunn. I'm going to share a little bit of her accolades with all of you, and then you get to hear from her, so it'll be really exciting. She is from Oud, is that what you said? Oud, Virginia, married to John, a former mechanical engineer. They have 4 grown children, all of them are married, 3 grandsons and 3 granddaughters. Then she began her Mary Kay business in January of 1986, earned her first Mary Kay card in January of 1987, and debuted as a director in January of 1988. Debuted as an NSD, a National Sales Director, in 2002, and top 10 national areas in 2021 and 2022. Before Mary Kay, she worked as a psych assistant at a Christian mental health hospital, and then as a secretary at a defense plant. An interesting fact about her, she had 4 children in 5 years. While building her business. Her daughter Heather has built her Mary Kay business as well and earned 3 cars. Dawn picked the giraffe as the Dunn area mascot because it has the biggest heart of all the animals at 32 pounds. They stretch and stick their necks out. They have great vision and long eyelashes. Giraffes are gentle and shy. Her greatest fear when she began was selling anything. As a tomboy, she loves sports and not makeup. Didn't wear it. She's earned 18 career cars, 15 pink Cadillacs since 1988, and is currently driving a beautiful pink Escalade with her NSD. She debuted as a National Sales Director in 2002 in June. She has an offspring National Sales Director, Lene Tate, in 2015, and Lene's offspring, Jamie Taylor, debuted in 2021. A Diamond Circle National Area 13 times. She did the National Court of Sales 3 times, the National Court of Sharing 5 times, and she was a $1 Million Director 5 times. Her favorite prize or award was when she was selected as the Diamond Division Monthly Go Give in 2002, and earned the top Mary Kay Sales Director's trip as a second honeymoon. They've been to more than 32 countries. Her favorite destinations include Australia, a cruise to the Grecian Islands, Alaska, Austria, Switzerland, and Hawaii. She enjoys helping people to get to know God personally and to fulfill their God-given mission. She enjoys family flexibility as a work-from-home mom, and now with John alongside me since his 2015 brain bleed. Mary Kay allows me to embrace my mission to make an internal, external, and eternal difference. They had a dream. Her dream come true through Mary Kay was buying a farm overlooking the peaks of Otter with cows and horses and meeting Mary Kay Ash. Her five-year goal is to reach as many people as possible with the gospel and leading their area to an elite inter-circle national area with 5 offspring NSDs. And the lovely Dunn.
I appreciate you coming out on a Thursday night here in Millie's. Okay, we're all over the place. We're back at Bozeman, and it's just a joy to be here. Greetings from Virginia, and greetings from Mary Kay headquarters in Dallas, Texas, where we all go. If you'd have told me 39 years ago, I'm kind of going back to when we were talking to the consultants that I'd be doing this, I'd have thought you were crazy. Because I was a tomboy, and I just liked horses and sports, and that's what my love was. And so Mary Kay, I thought, was for hoity-toity cosmetic ladies that didn't have a college degree. I had a degree in psychology, thought I would go for my master's or doctorate in counseling or something different. But never in a zillion years did I think I would be a national sales director for Mary Kay. But I cannot think if that's how the Lord works. I can't think of anything that's been more awesome, rewarding than just a lifetime of, 38 years with Mary Kay. And so I'm eager to kind of give you a little capsule, maybe whet your appetite. I realize some of you would rather eat a raw onion and ever do something like Mary Kay. And that's okay. We need great customers. We need great supporters. We need talent scouts. That's why I first listened. She said, if you refer someone who's accepted for a position, you get $50 worth of free Mary Kay. I thought I could pick out $50 more free in addition to. And I bought 130, 38 years ago when I first started on a payment plan. And I only had $7 in my checkbook. So I had to wait until it went in, but I'm so excited. I can't believe how the product has just been wonderful. It's been a fun journey. So I do love to share these directors and consultants from Montana. We have no territories in Mary Kay, which is really a beautiful thing, because I don't know if you've ever been somewhere and you've moved and then you had to get a new job or relocate. We've moved twice as a family, and my husband was a mechanical engineer, and so we moved, and you just take this right along with you, and you don't have to apply for a new job in a new area, and what you have built, you still get paid for the work you did 2 years ago. So the fact that Mary Kay had no territories, we just honor a golden rule and a go-give that we don't take each other's customers. So I am thrilled to see so many customers in the house, and the products are incredible. Do you know that this is the #1 best-selling brand of skincare and color cosmetics on the market today? Can you guys give me And it's one of the best priced. You know, if you want to do your friends a favor and help them save money, you can go buy more expensive skincare, but you cannot get a better skincare and just about 20 to 30% less than what you find in Clinique, at the or at the malls, and whatever. And anyway, I just think it's wonderful that we get to represent. This is Mary Kay Ash. She passed away right when I became a national sales director that year, but I've been at her home. I met her when I went to my first seminar in Dallas, Texas, where they said, oh, you want to go to seminar? I thought, I don't want to go to seminar. And they said, you really want if you want to learn the business. And that year at Dallas, I joined in January after having a makeover on a Black Friday. And I went and decided to give this a shot. And the only reason I decided to give it a shot, because at my makeover, I felt like $1,000,000. She made me feel very special. She explained why you use skincare, not just slapped it on. When it was on, my husband walked in and said, wow, I like that. I said, I thought you didn't like makeup, because we were married in August, and I wore nothing to they tried to put a little bit of blusher and mascara, and I felt like a hooker. And so I'm like, no, we're not going with this. So I wish my pictures from the wedding would have been totally different with Mary Kay, but that's all right. It's part of the journey and part of the story. And I really do love sports, and I love horses, which is why I'm going to take my heels off right now, because I did have an accident during COVID, and I think it's rearing its ugly head. So my back hurts whenever I have any kind of coming through an airport yesterday. So you forgive me if I'm an extra inch lower. Yeah. So it just feels good to stand up here on the cushy carpet. But I love Mary Kay with how flexible it is. You heard we had 4 kids in 5 years. I was an accordion. I would have been let go of any other job. How many times I can remember being, anyway, just sick for most of the time that I had my kids. I don't want to turn off any new moms in here. You don't have to be sick to be pregnant. And it really is worth it. And they're wonderful. And I don't know of any other company where you could have that kind of time and set your own schedule around everything and keep your priorities, God, family, career. And I thought, is this really the real deal? I wondered. I was really skeptical when I went to that first seminar. And I also got in not only so I could eventually be home with kids, because we were just newlyweds when I started. We didn't have any children. And then waited 4.5 years of building a Mary Kay business and brought our first baby home in a pink Cadillac. And they've been in pink cars ever since. They're a little spoiled. But it's nice to have a new car every 2 years that the company pays for. And when I met her, one of the reasons I wanted to do this was to also share about how to know God personally. So I would give out little tracts at my makeovers, because I was one of those turned off pastor's daughters that went to church all my life and thought I was a Christian. I believed, I went through everything, baptized and all that good stuff, but I did not know God is my Savior. And I wish somebody would have pulled me aside and said, hey, Dawn, it's not how much you try, it's not a religion, it's just knowing Him. And has anyone ever taken the time to share what the Bible says about how to know Him? I wish somebody had done that earlier. And so that was a teenager, and so that's my greatest joy. If anybody has questions, when I used to do makeovers, and I said to Mary Kay, I got in this so I could share about Christ and just share the gospel at my makeovers. Is that okay? And she took my hands and she goes, that's great, you keep that up. She didn't say, oh, Dawn, don't mix business with whatever. And so she was the real deal. She was beautiful. I was at her home, very down-to-earth lady. She's very funny. Her story, if you want to be inspired. Do you know that in the business world, when she was alive, she won the award for Businesswoman of the Year of the century, not just of the year, of the century. Do you know who the male counterpart of that was? On the male part? Henry Ford. Ever heard of him? So that just shows the kind of audience and company she has. She was a real woman. She's not like Betty Crocker where it's a false thing. And she was the real deal. So now her grandson, Ryan Rogers, has taken over. It's been 60 years. So customers, thank you for making us #1. We wouldn't do that without you guys because I can't buy that many lipsticks or makeup. But it is a great product and it really is a great company. So I said to the directors who were here, I said I would go through and share some quick fun facts. And this is actually how I've trained for 38 years. When I was a brand new consultant, this is what my director taught me to do. And then I just used it as we built to be $1 million unit and just earning all the awards. It wasn't really anything that can't be taught and can't be duplicated. So you don't have to, whatever, know everything about Mary Kay and the company and whatever to just be able to share. It's great and share what the company has. So do you mind if would you just humor me as I go through and show what I've done from the first part of meeting Mary Kay. So, by the way, before I get started, if I were to ask you, what's your ideal job, and maybe you already have it, what do you love most about it? What are some of the things I hear that you do, and how many of your teachers are nurses? Okay, that's the top 2 professions that come into Mary Kay, by the way, which is really fun. What's
I
that?
work in a preschool.
You work at a preschool, love it, okay. Okay, what do you love most? Just throw out a few things, guests only. What are some things you love about your job?
The pay.
The pay, what else?
Helping children.
Being at home, okay. Just the paycheck. Okay. Some of you would say, that's the thing I don't like about my job, is the pay. Do we have any of those in the house that say, gosh, anyway? Okay, do you know that the average woman today is working 1.5 jobs? Not just that now they're out of the home, but almost 2 jobs is kind of becoming a normal thing, which is really weird. Then when I started years ago, it was, it was to do a big deal to get out of the home and for women to work. But it's an exceptional opportunity, and I just want to throw it out to you. And if Mary Kay is not for you, would you just be a talent scout for your consultant? And because you probably work with people that when they think of their life 5 years from now, that's what they ask me, where do you see yourself 5 years from now? And I thought, I hope it's not at the job I had. And it was good money, and it was good pay and good benefits, but it was stressful, and I thought, I don't ever want to do this when I have kids. And I thought, if I'm thinking of being here 5 years from now, gag me with a spoon. When you see the shots about the war going on, and you see the howitzers on out there, that's what my husband used to design, and I used to put together the technical manuals for the government on how to assemble those. How many screws, how many this, and so anyway, that was what I got to do before Mary Kay. And so when Mary Kay came along, I thought, I have a degree, I would never do something like this. And she asked me, where do you see yourself 5 years from now? I thought, I hope not doing this. And she asked me, what would I change about my current job? And I said, I want more flexibility for children someday. So I don't know what you'd say, but consultants always ask that. I'll show you just my little book here, Getting to Know You. And Mary Kay Ash was a real woman in Dallas, Texas. And the iconic pink Cadillacs. And I asked when I was first shared with, I said, if you earn one of those cars, can you paint it? I didn't want to look like a little Barbie running around town, but I certainly needed a car. I had a '76 Vega when I started in '86, so you can see I was desperate. But they give you a new car every 2 years. You have to requalify. They don't just give you a new car. Let me quantify that. You've got to work for it, but it's awesome because I don't know many companies that give you the full for use of a car and pay the tags and registrations and all that. That's amazing, and even 70% of the insurance. So keep your driving record good. And that's amazing. What a savings to our family over this 38 years. We had kids in private school. I had 2 with learning disabilities that we paid special tutors for. One is now a nurse practitioner, and so we're really proud of her, and the other is just finding his way and still figuring out what he wants to do, but he has a welding degree, and I'm just blessed to have the flexibility we needed. So here's the headquarters in Dallas, Texas. How many of you have been here? How many of you have been to Dallas, Texas? Love it. If your consultant did not raise her hand, you want to make sure she's on the plane in July to go with us. Our product line, you can see it on here. As I said, you can buy a more expensive product, but you can't get a better product. And it's guaranteed 100% satisfaction guarantee. Do not hesitate if you get a color or something that you don't like, because you just give it back to them, they send it back to the company, and the company sends them a brand new one. So they're not hurting by your getting everything you want. Have you ever opened your drawer and you get something and you've got a whole storage of things you don't really want to put on your face, but you don't want to throw it away either because you spent good money for it? Can anybody relate? So this saves you from the hodgepodge of bad choices in your any Mary Kay on your shelf, you should be loving and using and enjoying the guarantee on it. So, and they give us the products, of keeping products on hand so we can offer on-the-spot delivery. Does anybody have an experience where you got to take your skincare home that day and start on it right away? Any guess? Some of you haven't tried it yet or been treated to your makeover, but most of the time you have it right there you can take home. Okay, are y'all still with me? Okay. This was my why. You can see when John and I were just dating, we were engaged there, and I did not wear makeup. But then to have our first Cadillac we picked up, and you can see how old the kids were. Well, that wasn't our first one, but that was one of many, and the stair steps, and then meeting Mary Kay, and sharing about how to know Christ personally. And this is our farm in Virginia, beautiful mountains over here. We just overlook the peaks of Otter and have horses now that would have been a dream come true that Mary Kay has enabled us to do. So I don't know what makes you go to work in the morning, but I used to work really hard. I was gonna earn a diamond bumblebee and then sell it and take the money and get a horse instead. And anyway, we have 6 horses now, and I have earned 6 diamond bumblebees, 5 of them and then the queen one, so it's been fun to be able to do that, and the grandkids. Mary Kay praises women to success. Does anybody here get lots of recognition at your current job? I used to hear from people if I did something wrong or there was a deadline coming up. I did not hear a lot of positive recognition at the defense plant, I'm just telling you. And Mary Kay, they clap for you when you sneeze, or they just encourage you for the craziest things. It's really a fun sisterhood, it's a fun, but they do praise women's success with diamonds, with cars, with just all kinds of jewelry. How many of you have some Mary Kay jewelry on? The diamonds, I wouldn't go out and buy these for me, but if they want to give them away, I'll work for it, and I love the rewards. So if you're like that, and you don't get appreciated for who you are enough in your other job, think of Mary Kay. Here's our avenues of income real quick, and I need the consultants to help me. Who is it that Kimberly has those sheets to give out? I just want the guests to have it, because you can fill that out. Do they have it already? Oh, very good. Okay, I'm watching you. What's your name? Karen. 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 Okay, I've had a sharp Karen today. What is it with Karens? Okay, I love it. Okay, so this is how we make our money. And I'm actually doing this for the directors and consultants. This wasn't how I was going to do it, but you know what? I think sometimes we make this thing too difficult in just sharing with people. Because do you know how many women are looking for a different opportunity out there? They're looking at different options, different part-time jobs, different side hustles, or career changes. They're not happy with what they're doing. And so Mary Kay is just a 60-year success story that's still alive and well and doing well because we're based on the golden rule. God first, family second, career third is what she established to be success and showed us how to do that. And we just love the company and what it offers. So beauty consultants can earn up to 50% profit. Write that in, 50%. An average skincare is about 100, or skincare whatever, and usually about 100 per face for what you're doing. So if you had 3 women in a skincare class, an average class would be 300, and if you made 50%, here's a math question. 50% of 300 is how much? 150. And even if you gave that hostess a lot of products, you could still earn about $100 for that 2 hours of appointment. And these are averages I'm just throwing out there. But that got my attention. I mean, my makeover was just me and my mother-in-law and I. Let me get my English correct. And we bought 230. That was 38 years ago. And when I figured out she made over $100 for that 2 hours, and we didn't feel, it was fun. It was awesome. And then I thought, wow, I could do what she does. This is not rocket science. Anyway, and as you're building, you can hold as many or few as you want. With having 4 babies in 5 years, there were some weeks where I wanted to escape more than others. There were months where I was just hunkered down trying to keep the whole family and tribe together. Then, as a general rule, I will tell you, I worked about 2 nights a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then I trained on Monday nights. So Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, I would work from 6 to 9 and do those appointments, and was able to earn a car, was able to build a $1 million business. That's the schedule, and then I worked some during the day, but I thought, where else can you do that? Anyway, and then reorders, 50% commission, 50% profit, I should say. I'm still getting paid on work I did that very first year when I had all my friends and family become my best guinea pigs. And all that I sold that year, I still have been getting paid on that work 38 years later with reorders. Does that blow your mind? How many of you get a paycheck on Friday and that's it? So the fact that it's consumable product and they use it up, you need about 2 skincares a year to really keep your skin in great shape, and anyway, we have the highest customer loyalty rate of any cosmetic company. That speaks volumes. It's one thing because you buy it because it's your friend and you feel obligated. Whereas another thing, you think you'll give it a try, but it's another thing when you keep coming back and back. So we retain over 70% of our customers. That's huge. Can you get excited about that? Okay. So dovetailing, that's a funny name, but say Karen had a class on Saturday and her family got sick and she decided she couldn't come in. She could have Candace go hold that class for her, and whatever she held, you would still get 15%. So if she sold 300, you would get $45 for staying at home on the couch. You would get 35%, which in most books is still probably good commission, good profit. Do you know most companies don't even give 20, 30%? I don't know if you have investigated what's out there, but 50% is really good. So dovetailing gives you your freedom. And I'm so grateful. With 4 kids, there was always someone that had a doctor's appointment or a earache or something, and flopping around the schedule was very, very helpful, and not feeling like I ever had to sacrifice my priorities in order to work this and build this business in the whole 38 years. So lots of flexibility. Team building bonuses. Just in a nutshell, Mary Kay, we're not a pyramid company or a matrix system, but you are bound to meet people. You're a nurse. It works. You're bound to meet people that want to do what you do or would like a side hustle for some extra money. If you refer them, you're not their boss. They don't pay you a dime, but the company gives you a chunk. Every time they place an order, you get a percentage once a month of any time they place an order directly from the company to you. That's really smart. In fact, that's one of the reasons you won all these business awards. It's just a smart marketing decision. So bonuses. All I can say is usually it's 4%, 9%, and 13%. So I used to realize when I first started, a 4% check coming once a month is maybe about $50 to $100 a month when you have at least 3 or more in your team. What would you do with an extra $100 a month? Yep. Put it away, save it. Would you buy something special?
Yeah.
Okay, pay off debt. I had a girl say one time it was her shoe fund. And this lived to her shoe fund, was her husband. But, you know, pay off debt, do whatever. And then it goes up 9% and 13%. I was telling the consultants earlier. It depends on your team size and how ambitious you are, so I'm not making a profit. But 13%, when we earned our first car at the end of our first year, I had 10, and then built to 15 on my team, and those checks were about $1,000 a month that I was getting. And I was able to tuck that as a down payment on our first home and pay our first home off in 7 years from paying $1,000 extra a month on the mortgage. So then we were able to go out and buy another home out in the country and then buy the 27 acres next to it and then the farm next to it, thanks to Mary Kay. And that was coming in from that. And so I'm so grateful because I wouldn't have had my horses in my old subdivision, okay? But just to be able to dream and think, oh, what would you do with that? And to make difference in choices. And so that's team building, and that can be whatever you decide to make it. And then the car, as I said, the first car they get, stand-up directors, who's are in the tracks, or it would be equal to the Malibu is what they used to get. Stacy's got one back there. Who else? Yay, Sean, who used to be a lawyer. That cracks me up. Okay, we are attracting professional women. It's not just housewives who don't know what better to do with themselves, right? And Piper, you have one of those too, did I see?
Not current, but yes.
Okay, you have the Malibu?
Yeah.
Okay, now they're getting the tracks. The tracks, which is really a sweet little car. Anyway, and they pay tax, registration, and the majority of your insurance. Okay, and then you'd also be a Malibu as a director or the pink Cadillac. We had some, where's the pink Cadillac lady? How many Cadillacs have you ridden in your career? 16. Woo! Sweet. Okay, that'll spoil you. And then directorship, if you want to move up, you do not have to wait until someone dies, retires, or moves away to have their position. There are no territories in Mary Kay. So you decide, hey, I think I'd like to be a sales director. You go out and build your team, get to 30, with the training of a mentor to help you. You're not in this alone. Build to 30 with other people that have dreams. Maybe they just want an extra $500 a month, or maybe they want to earn a car too. And then you can earn the use of a car. We use it for personal and business use. We'd hand in cars with over 60,000 miles in just those 2 years. John would even run it to work as his engineering thing when I wasn't using it that day. So that pink Cadillac got a lot of mileage on it. That's really sweet. Can you get excited about a car? Can you get excited about directorship and moving up at your own pace if you decide to? Also, and you don't have to have a certain degree to do this. You don't have to go to school for 4 years. We will put you through a new consultant training that, you know, is always ongoing to these women. This is a training center here. And so they get to come and learn about the newest products and how to represent them well, what they do for you, what are the ingredients. We have a whole headquarters in Dallas, Texas, where they give us all kinds of virtual training. So you're never alone. You're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. What a blessing. Plus the fact that we don't steal each other's customers. You have everybody working together. Most companies is, you know, what did she get? Well, hey, if you want a car, you get a car, you do a car. They don't just do who got the drawing or who happens to be number one. I mean, it's just equal to your ambition. Can you get excited about having a sisterhood? And I might not have a product I need, so I can trade with Piper. Or I'm going away next weekend and I need someone to cover my classes. We help one another, no matter where you are. You have sisters all over the United States, and we're in 32 different countries now too. So, and then national sales director is what I am. To me, this is the best position in the whole wide world, just because of what we get to do and who we represent. It really is I didn't have to get my master's degree to have this kind of earning potential, and I didn't have to move anywhere. I could work from my home on my terms. I could share the gospel as much as I wanted to. It's just been a joy. So if you love what you do, then don't give Mary Kay a second thought. But if there's anything where you think, wow, I would love to add a little bit or change a little bit, I could use an extra money, I could use the little extra, I would love to even get my stuff at cost for makeup. Can you imagine having your own little selection where when you run out of mascara, you don't call anybody, you just go down and get it and be able to order it? That's nice. You're your own boss. You're your own boss. You don't have any bosses in case you don't like your current boss. You do have mentors, you have trainers, but you're in business for yourself and not by yourself. You meet new friends, there's no quotas. Ooh, this appealed to me. If you're going for a car directorship, they do have certain things that you have to shoot for. But otherwise, if I wanted to make $50 a week or $500 a week, I was not limited by anybody. It's equal to, as I said, your ambition. So no quotas. It's just fun to set goals, and they give you different prizes. Who's got the $600 gift on? I meant to wear that necklace, and I wore the one that my unit got me to go with the suit. Anyway, does anybody have that silver?
It's delivered today.
Oh, you get them early as nationals. Okay, it's really nice. Price. Flexible hours. Set your own. Do you just want to work Tuesdays? Do you never want to work before 10 o'clock in the morning? Do you want to work evenings? Do you want to, whatever. You get to set the schedule. What a joy. It's free training. We teach you everything to know on how to hold appointments, all about your products, the advancement opportunities. I'm just curious in a group this size, and this is out here in Montana, so I'm not sure. Anyway, but how many of you have been in a job where you had to wait until someone died or retired or moved away for you to move up? You're kind of stuck there. Was there any glass ceilings in this room? You're pointing at somebody out here. Okay, Sean, okay. One out of whatever, but I find that quite a bit. I know I was at a job that kept saying, as soon as he works out at the defense plant, you'll turn up to this, and then you'll get to here. Well, you had to wait until Frank moved on, and Bill moved on, and Debbie. And it was like not fun. All right, build your confidence, strengthen your leadership skills. The tax breaks, you're in business for yourself, so you're entitled to legal tax deductions, which is awesome. My husband said every woman should get into business just so you have the tax deductions. And we enjoyed that. When I earned the same amount as he did, he paid twice as what I had to do in taxes because I was entitled to the legal tax deductions that went with it. So that's a real blessing. They have a 90% buyback guarantee. This is what gave my husband the courage to let me try it 38 years ago when we were just married. He says, I really didn't think you'd stick with it. But if you decide to give it a shot, and even if you buy 10 sets, and you decide it's not for you, the company will take that back, destroy it, and give you 90% of what you invested in products to sell, which really gave me the courage to try. Do you know how many businesses, you don't get that kind of thing. You start a hair shop, you start a little boutique. I don't know of anybody that says, we'll buy this back from you if you don't make it work. Okay? Do you get how important this is that you get to try something? And then praise the women to success. Any questions? These are the advantages. Of all the things you heard, I'd love, what would appeal to you the most? And consultants, when you're sharing this little thing with them, what would appeal to you the most? What else? Can anybody say what would appeal to you? Even if it's not for you, what of all the things you heard were you impressed with so far? Who can help me out here? Oh, you get a ticket. Thank you, Sean. That helps. Okay. You're a consultant.
Making your own schedule.
Making your own schedule. Who did you bring as a guest? All right. Give it to her instead. Now you gotta ask your own question. But what would appeal to you? So your name is?
Zuri.
Zuri. Oh, that's pretty. Okay, so Zuri gets a ticket. So making your own schedule. What appeals to you, Karen, or anybody? I'm not trying to give you tickets up here.
The
in front.
return policy.
The return policy, where'd that come from? Make sure Sean sees it, okay? What appealed to you most?
Flexibility.
Flexibility. Do you have flexibility in your current job?
Not really.
You look so young. What do you do?
I'm a mental health worker.
Oh. Coming from the psych background, this is really fun. This is my happy place. And you can still serve a lot of people and meet a lot of needs. So good for you. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Who else? Something would appeal to you. Let's get the tickets away. What are we giving away? I don't know what's this.
Door prize is right here.
Oh, I bet they'll do tickets. Okay. So hey, what appeals to you?
No competition.
Oh, good.
You're all on the same team.
Yes, yes. And that's why it's important, customers, whoever your consultant is, when they say, who's your consultant, you say, whoever introduced you to the product and who's in touch with you. Don't just say, I don't have one. Make sure you say, because we try not to step on each other's customers. That's really cool. Yes?
There are no quotas, and it kind of feels like there's no pressure.
Yeah, you know what it is? It's just, hey, if they'll give me a pretty new necklace or a ring for doing a 600, I will work my butt off to do that, and it makes it lots of fun. John said, you'll work harder for a $30 radio than you do for a paycheck. And I'm like, yes, because I won it. Yes, so I love that prizes, yes.
The no territory.
No territory. Have you ever had to move somewhere and leave a job behind? You look very young too. Okay, but it happens, and then you think, I gotta go start over, my husband's job is taking me here, I just wanna explore and move to Florida, I don't know, but here you make your, yes, and what else? No boss. Is that your customer? Okay, what do you do now?
I'm an adjuster, an insurance adjuster.
Oh, so not having a boss hanging over your head and telling you the hours or the, yeah. Here you've got people that inspire you and say, do you want my job? I'll show you how to do it. Here's a card for you too. And just being able to work, it really is fun. What else? Another one?
I don't do that ticket, but,
No, you do. Because we win stuff all the time here.
I'm already in sales, and
Yes.
so I don't think I would do this to, but the whole getting the product it costs.
Oh, yeah.
And my daughter, you it, and so I'm like,
Yeah.
that had not occurred to me until that tonight.
Can I tell you, when I started, it was a lot different. Now it is, you do a 225 once a year. And you could be considered a consultant and get that at 50% off. That's unbelievable. And they talk about quotas, because most of the time, they want you to put in 400 each month, or you gotta do this or that. Now, if you're in a car, we're gonna make you scratch a little bit more. They've got some, but otherwise, it really is up to you. And what I liked about it, when you're running out of money and you have more week than money coming in, hey, I'll go to work, I'll hold an extra class. Our first daughter had some complications when she was born, and there was a big bill that came in that we were not expecting. I'm like, honey, I can make that happen. Get rid of that this month, and that was really a blessing. Whereas John's engineering job, I'm sorry, but they have. You know, there wasn't always overtime or another way to make more money. So sales can be very lucrative if you work it. If you work, it works. And there's enough of a track record of success behind this woman's company that you can see who makes it work. And don't ever take advice from somebody you wouldn't trade places with. 38 years ago, I went to the bank to get a money order from Mary Kay Cosmetics because I was giving it a shot, and I was so crazy scared. And my husband was standing behind me, and the girl said, "Oh, I used to do that." I said, "You did?" And she said, "Yeah, I quit." And John says, "Honey, the most you can lose is $60, and you've spent that on a bad dress before." So I gave it a shot. I went back a couple days later. I was so awful about this Mary Kay thing, and she didn't even work there anymore. They said we had to let her go. And so I thought I almost let her talk me out of it. So how my life would have been different. So it is for some. It's not for everybody. I want to tell you. But what is the worst thing that can happen? There's 3 ways to start Mary Kay. Piper, I think you're the one to show us these awesome. There's 3. If it was something you were thinking, anybody else want to get a ticket with what appeals to you while she's setting this up? Yes, one more.
Meeting new friends.
Meeting new friends, it's so good, it is a great way to do that. I just met a woman today who moved here from falling, Big Falls. Great Falls. Great Falls. Are you from there too?
No.
Oh, taxes, yes.
The taxation, yeah, Mom.
Yes, I just had to buy a new suitcase before I came here yesterday because the other ones were starting to wear out. It's a tax deduction because I'm coming on, travel. I mean, if you're just going to Tahiti when you're on vacation, you don't get those tax deductions. That's really fun. Okay. I want you to show us why you're.
Well, I'm gonna show you.
One more. start?
It helps people look their best and then they'll do best.
Yes, they do. You're a walking advertisement. Thank you for being a walking advertisement for yourself and for your customers and consultants. Anybody else? Not too late. I love hearing this. Yes, ma'am.
Vehicles and the jewelry.
The vehicles and the jewelry is fun. Yes, my jewelry is packed with. Yes, and,
I'm wearing it right now.
oh, okay.
My jewelry, yeah. I would just say because you're in business by yourself, but you're not by yourself.
Yes,
That
this is for
definitely
yourself.
appealed to me.
It is. You're not alone in this thing trying to figure this out. And it's not a cutthroat. Yes, another one. I see that hand.
say that it's a community.
It is a community. We are a sisterhood. Yep. Yep. Family. All right, Piper. Ooh, this is really pretty. This is kind of nice. It is.
It's new, really new, came out of the box, like.
Okay, okay. We're always updating and changing.
So our startup costs is what we were wondering. So you can start a business with Mary Kay for $35. That $35 gets you a virtual business where you can have your website to sell to your customers and ProPay, which is the company that we use to process credit cards. And it is attached to our website.
Okay.
And then you can add on a $45 sample kit to that. So 35 at 45 is 80. 80. And with that 80, you are going to get a sample kit full of individual samples. There's enough to do your first 30 faces with those samples, 25 to 30 faces with those samples. And you can add that in addition to the $35, sorry. And then now we can add the full-size starter kit to any of those, the 30 plus 90 is what it would be, and 45. So all that math. This is the bag it all comes in, which is beautiful. We like the pink, of course. And this is like nice.
That's nice on an airplane too. That's your
Really
carry-on.
nice,
It's
yes.
good advertisement. You get lots of, and what else? Oh, yeah, pass it around.
And that is gonna come with almost $400 worth of full-size retail product and about $100 worth of samples and sales aids.
So it's about a $500
About
value.
a $500
For 90.
For
this.
90.
Okay, and then your virtual business option is only 35.
35.
And then if you wanna get a sample thing on top, it's 45. All right, I gotta tell you, gang, when I started, and I still put this in my book, because I don't even tell you about the 35. You want the bag, you wanna get started that way, and for $90 plus tax and shipping, to get 400 of real product, saves you, but it's also a great way to start. It's a great deal, and the training that comes in there. I always say, what's in your showcase? Is it your chance to be home with your infant? Is it the chance to pay off your kid's college education? Our 4 came through, each of them except the youngest with the welding degree. He didn't go for the full 4 year, but no college debt. And then to also just have choices and options. We were able to fly the whole family over to Hawaii for 2 weeks. We were able to come out west on a 2-week vacation out west and do things. I mean, what's in your vacation? Is it paying off debt? I hear that to be debt-free. And anyway, just really grateful, very, very grateful. So that's a $100 starter kit. And then it's up to you if you wanna have products on hand. I recommend it because people like to take it home right away. You don't have to have a big store like Walmart, but you know, when you run in for a quick stop, and if I'm gonna see 3 faces and I have skincare to do, and all 3 can start with skincare, that makes sense, okay? And if for some reason, I have a whole year to figure it out from the time that I buy it, 364 days to return the product for them to squish it up and then destroy it and give me my 90% back. That's like talking divorce when you talk marriage, but at least you have a back door to Mary Kay. You're not stuck with it or feel like you're going into, and you're in sales. What do you sell? I'm curious. Travel agent. Whoa, oh my goodness, boy, did I work hard. They were offering a trip to the Bahamas. I won a trip to the Bahamas for a day. They had some sort of bargain where you could go in the morning, go for lunch and come back. And I live on the East Coast, okay, so this was not as big of a deal. But they flew us over at 9 o'clock in the morning, and then we had lunch and we came back that evening at 6. Was that crazy or what? And that was the Mary Kay thing that my director did. I thought that was fun, so maybe we need to talk. Because there's a lot of fun trips. And then the 5-star hotels and stuff that Mary Kay sends top directors on. This year they're going to Hawaii, they went to Spain last year, and just around the world. So that still exists. It's not a fairy tale, it really is true in America. So you have those three options, you just have to decide which one.
You have to start with the 35.
Okay, have to have the
Must
35.
start with the E-Start, but you can add on, you may add on the 45 sample kit or the $90 start, Pro Start, or both.
I have a really hard time just saying you have to do just the 35, because yes, you can do an online business, but why not do the full store for 90? So I don't even like to talk about that, but it's out there.
I know.
125, you do both,
Okay.
plus shipping. We are.
Can they
we
do
have
the 35 without the 90?
Yes.
I know tax.
No
Since
sales
we don't
You
do
can't do
tax
the
on it.
90 without the 35,
There's no tax
but we
on
don't have
Montana.
sales tax.
It's a blessing, but it does somewhere else.
All right, so I've lost the rhythm. I do want to.
What's the annual, like, every year you have to repay the 125 or?
Well, that's why I say you order 225 once a year to be considered a consultant. 225 in product, your cost. So it'd be $450 worth of products once a year. I mean, you can do that on your own stuff, or you can do one class a year, and it's not like you have to start. And then for 35 right now, that's just, I think it's ridiculous. I think y'all need the showcase, so, but I'll go along with the 35, because it's just, but that just gives you virtual, that gives you $400 worth of stuff, and they didn't have that back when I started. And the showcase, when I started 38 years ago, was $85. It was pink and square, and they had samples in it. They did not give you real product in it, it was just all samples that you would put in these little demo tubes, so that's really sweet. But that's now, and this is, that was then, and this is now. But okay, I hear three things that would hold people back when I travel and go anywhere. The three biggest things I hear is I'm not the sales type. And I wanna say to that, good. I'm looking for people that like the product and like people. I'm not looking for the sales type, because that sounds shady, sounds pushy, okay, agreed? And that's usually what people, but if you genuinely love this product, who was already selling out front on the front thing? She was saying all the products she liked. Yes, you, or who was it, was saying out front all the things you loved when you were talking to her?
Oh, I did.
Okay, yes, she was talking, I love the skincare, I love this, and I until she's already selling.
No, she's already not selling.
Okay, well, you were. You can say it's like a recipe. Oh, you gotta try this recipe, it works. We're women, we're a roar. So you're selling whether you realize it or not. It just, and then, so another thing I hear people say is I don't have the time. Well, this is easy. This is one of the most flexible things to do. You'll make the time for what's important to you. If you knew that giving up 3 hours a week would be the way that you could pay for your son's braces, or be the way that you pay for the family vacation next summer that looks a little out of your budget, or this could be the addition to your house, if you have 3 classes a week, or you attach something to it, what a fun way. Would you find the time for things that are important to you? A woman will find a way, and don't ever give a job to a couch potato. Give a job to a busy woman, they're the ones who get things done. So if you say you're too busy, I kinda like that too. And then the third one that holds people back is, well, it used to be that I don't have the money to get started, but now it's ridiculous at 35. I just wanna tell you, go with the 90 plus 35, don't even think about less than that. But if you have to start, the only way is 35. That's ridiculous. That is less than I think our sales are back home. You have Costco out here, right? Okay, but you can't take each other's customers. Everybody has customers. But hey, have at it for your own and your daughters, that would be amazing. I find that the women who think they don't wanna do this are usually the ones who come in and do gangbusters. I'm telling you, it's really fun. So if you're sitting there thinking, think about what is the worst thing that could happen if I try this? What is the worst thing that could happen? Somebody give me a worst case scenario, your biggest fear.
No one coming.
No one coming. So could you probably find some stuff that you want at half price in our book? Could you find $225 a year for yourself if the worst thing happened and nobody came? And I want to tell you, that happened to Linda too, the national sales director with Mary Kay, that probably retired on, she was up there in Inner Circle, she probably retired on at least over $100,000 a year retirement. So for 15 years as a national sales director. So, and she didn't have anybody show up at her first class, and she's got that story all the time. Okay, anybody else have a big fear? I love to hear the big fears. What if anything would hold you back? Too much time, they're all starting. Okay, have fun, we'll let you mingle. What is the giveaway tonight? You guys were giving for whoever did make a decision to join the team, we're getting the travel set to travel with. And I needed that right before I came out here, because I couldn't catch some big ones. And so, yeah. Yes, another question?
So what would, like, why would Piper want me to be, so say I did it,
Yep.
and I just wanted it for my girls, my granddaughters, whatever, my mom, I'll use it.
Mm-hmm.
She's losing my commission from, because we all already buy from her.
Right.
So why would she want me as a salesperson and not her customer?
Because some people just want to buy and be a hostess, and so they get 20% discount, but you would want 50%, but you're gonna get your friends and whatever, and the chances are, to be honest, it can start really small. I've seen women that said all they wanted was ivy for the front of their house, and they've turned it, earn how many cars then. It usually is addictive, can I just tell you, it's addictive, and it's fun, because there's no, so that would be the plus, hoping that you will do more than once a year. But the company's happy if you do once a year. I'm serious, they just, they think of, anyway. But for us, building a team, to be honest, you don't strike me as someone that would, but if that's what you chose, that's okay, and that's all right to stay there, it really is. They're hoping you'll do more, which is what's the message. How many of you in here started as a personal use consultant, thought you were just gonna do that? We used to call them PU consultants. I'll tell you, I've been around 38 years, and we're like, please don't bring in any more PU, because the question is, why did you do that instead of having? So, I asked them to be selective in who they invite, because we don't get the world to get a Sam's discount, but if you've got some good customers and you think they would do really good, ask them and let them give them a chance. And the worst thing happens, you decide you don't want to do that anymore, you want to go back to being a happy customer and a hostess, but now you're hooked on the products. It's addictive.
I do love the products, but some of my kids need Androids, I guess.
It's gonna be hard to stay within that 225 minimum. Okay.
Yeah, I was just wondering, so is it like, when you do recruit people,
Yeah.
you make money off of their sales too?
When they place an order with a company, if you're their recruiter, anytime they place an order, it's a 4, 9, or 13%. And if you're their sales director, it's actually up to 26%. If you're their personal team member and their director, it's 26%. So if you placed a $200 order, and they're a sales director, what's that come to? I don't know, it's good. Why did I ask that? But you see what I'm saying? So every time you place an order, so you're never paying them. In pyramids, this one gets it for 30%, this one gets it for 40%. I don't understand all the rigmaroles, but I just know we got a great marketing plan. And Mary Kay was awarded all kinds of awards for the brilliance of it. And, yeah. And we're 60 years strong. But I do believe it's just the credit of her. She was brilliant. And this is a brilliant company and a brilliant product. Hands down, it would put this against any product. Yeah.
So even if you didn't really wanna sell it, but you wanted it for you to get 50% off?
La 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 la. I even hate to say that, it wasn't like that when I came in, it was $600 a month, or $600 a year that we had to do. And you had to do a $600 to get your 50%, and it was 40% if you did less than a $600 order a month. So we just always stretched to do our 600, we got some really slamming prizes, and they put us on target for our cars and whatever. So they really, it is watered down more for business, but that's the way that the culture is today. And giving people an opportunity that has such fail-safes on it, what's gonna happen is then you don't have the pressure, but you've got the perks. So that's what Mary Kay's counting on. Does that make sense? Yeah. And hoping that you'll want to do more, but you don't have to do that. So, yes.
Do you have advice on how to like get more customers that aren't just your friends and family?
Oh, we got a whole training thing, yes. I was scared of that. I thought, I don't know that many people. But if you know 5, who know 5, who know 5. And we moved twice with this, so I learned how to get people in new areas. That's one of my favorite things to do now. It wasn't then, it was a chicken. Ask people, but put out little facial boxes. Hey, register for a chance to earn $50 worth of free product. They can be a hostess for you to do that. Or you do a drawing, or do the before and afters. Oh, there's so many great ways to get people, so I'm glad you asked that. But really, if you know 5, those 5 know 5. Do you know the average woman knows 250 people? That's the average invitation weddings wise. If they could put all their friends in whatever, 250. So when people say, and even if you know 3 people, those 3 know 3, you know 3. Are they all gonna know? But we'll teach you in numbers game how to do that. If you're not afraid to ask. Wasn't I just talking to the consultants, hey, what's the worst we do? Would you enjoy May 30th? If you ask 10 random people out here, 2 will say yes. 2 will say no, and 6 will be somewhere in between, well, I don't know, or, whatever. But that's the numbers, and that's run pretty true for all 38 years. Even, who was it that had never tried Mary Kay? Linda? There she goes. Okay, never tried it already. And how old are you?
69.
Is there anybody else in the room that has never tried Mary Kay before? Wow! Okay, so don't say we're saturated, we're not. And how many of you really, you're here checking us out, but you haven't really bought anything yet? You're just kind of out there. Okay, we've got Drug here tonight. Now I'm already talking to you about the showcases. I'm glad you came, but truly, we need a strong company, strong teams, and they're building for their cars. They're building teams and teams of teams, and it's a great opportunity. So it's on your heart. So they're doing a giveaway for whoever gets a starter kit with the, okay, there
I
it is.
just tend not to.
Are they 28?
28.
28.
28, it's like a 1 month. No, it's not
A
even
couple
that.
weeks.
A couple weeks, it's my travel to Bozeman, so I had to get this myself. So it's 28 retail, 14 our cost. Or if you start, you get your own travel, wherever you're going away. And this really works even just, I've had people take these and demonstrate them in their camping trips and their campers. Y'all are big campers out here. There was a lady that just did this at campgrounds. That was where she was holding her glass at a little picnic table this night, and then over at that side another night. You don't have to be like, you guys got that, man. Go on vacation yourself. So that's what you get tonight if you decide to come here and get something. And that's with a $90 kit, isn't it? Or is it the 35? Even the 35. Okay. Is there any reason why? Yeah.
Is there anything you do different business-wise?
Me?
Yeah.
That I would do business-wise different?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great question. I've loved my life. I've loved it. And there's John back there now. See my husband. With the 4 kids. Has it been a good life, hon?
It's been terrific.
Yeah. Yeah. Is it really God first, family second, career
It
third?
is indeed.
Okay. All right. I told them about your brain bleed and stuff.
About what again?
About your brain bleed.
Oh.
He asked me, I shouldn't tell you this, but for 3 months he was in the ICU. He doesn't remember all this. He does not remember this. But I remember him looking at him and says, "Who are you?" And I was jumping in bed to sleep with him one night, because the person who was supposed to come sit with him wasn't sitting with me. He says, "Who are you?" So for that whole 6 months, he did not know us, could not. I mean, so he's a walking miracle. Praise God. And he made his decision.
Can we give Dawn a round of applause? She has shared her heart and soul with us all day long, all afternoon, all night, and we appreciate you. We appreciate you so very much.
It's been my joy, and they keep bringing me salmon and food and, aw, and a card, thank you. Yeah. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate you guys. What's really, there's no territories in Mary Kay, and so I have a daughter-in-law that's out here, and so when I come out, I like to do Mary Kay and help, because we need more national sales directors, we need more sales directors, believe it or not. So my job is to really help people move up, earn their pink Cadillacs, and go national. So I see national potential out here, so it is my joy, so. And even if you're sitting here today and saying starting all over, you could start today, yes, you'd be great.
I'm curious what your favorite Mary Kay product is.
Favorite of all time. Of all time, I love the skincare. That's what sold me, because I really am a tomboy at heart, and I just liked horses. I did not like doing a whole bunch of makeup and even, but I love the skincare and I love the foundation. I love what she stands for. I love the principles that are in all the products. Like, I like to put my money towards companies that have the heart that I want to advocate, and Mary Kay have that, so that's in all the products. So that helps. That's hard. I love the eye makeup remover. And then just be able to get all of it. And national sales directors, they send you the whole box of wax. You don't even have to pay for it. You just
And the
go.
necklace.
And the necklace, all the prizes that the directors are gonna get and show to their unit. We get all of them ahead of time as national sales directors. My daughter usually scarves them up, but Heather, she's a director too, so she. Okay, any questions? Okay,
Any other questions? Okay, we're gonna pass these around. Did you have some? our big drawing out of these, so each guest, I'll just pass these around, and we've got some pens, if you wanna take one and pass them around for all of